A mass exodus at the NYPD. Officers are leaving the force in record numbers with crime in the city on the rise. But New York City Mayor and former cop himself, Eric Adams, says, quote, he's not concerned. Take a listen.
There are reports that over 500 cops are resigning and over 1,000 are retiring. Does that concern you?
No, it does not. New York City Police Department is an amazing career. You know, I know it firsthand. And we're going to find young men and women who are going to want to be a member of the New York City finest. This is a great opportunity to diversify the department.
Joining me now is retired NYPD detective and former First Deputy Sheriff Commissioner Oscar Odom. Good to see you again, Oscar. Thank you for being here. The mayor's not worried about this, are you?
Yes, I am. I'm worried because of the fact that we're letting a lot of experience go out the door. Other police departments are going to benefit from this, like Nassau, Suffolk County, MTA, and Port Authority Police, because the amount of training that you go through in the New York City Police Department and the different looks and scenes that you have, I mean, it's priceless. And now these other departments are going to go, and New York City is going to lose that, in which we need this at this particular time.
But you know what we've already lost in this city, and in so many cities across the United States, is the feeling of being safe. I mean, we're back to that 1980s feeling of always trying to follow your shadow to make sure that there's nobody shadowing you. Women don't use their purses anymore. Folks are carrying their keys tightly so that the sharp edge of the key can be used as a weapon if they're attacked. I mean, this constant state of fear that I do remember from the late 1980s, early 1990s, before Giuliani came in, it's come back.
Oh, most definitely it has. And we have to take the reins of this to make sure that people are able to walk through safe, enjoy their constitutional rights, and enjoy what's out there. The New York City Police Department is equipped to do it. Mayor Adams, of course, is going to have to adapt and improvise, especially with people going outside the doors. And he's a progressive and forward thinker, and I'm quite sure he would do that. But also, we must take into account that we are losing people with invaluable experience, and other departments are taking up on this. They're getting the benefits, they're giving them transfers, they're taking their times up front, incentives, relocation expenses, all these things. And we need to make New York City safe again, because we've seen what happened over the past couple of years to what has happened in the city, and we need to restore this back. We have the tools, we have the equipment, we just have to execute on it and have some sort of balance.
Well, we had the tools and equipment in 1993. In fact, the interesting thing, by the way, the mayor is bragging that the budget for the cops has gone from $5.4 billion to $5.5 billion. It seems like it is a lot of money, but that's not keeping up with inflation. And bottom line is it doesn't all come down to money. I mean, in 1993, Giuliani actually lowered the budget as a result of cuts that he had in the budget, while increasing the power of the police to protect the innocent. And so much of the power now is reserved for making sure that criminals are handled okay, that they conform to the new bail laws, et cetera. Not enough on protecting the innocent.
Oh, most definitely. And that's the failure, and that's what hurts cops also, is the fact that they do their job and they arrest them. And then what happens is the criminal justice system, like some of the DAs, and then they let them right back out. They're thinking that they're doing them a favor, but actually they're doing a disservice to the person and also the communities in which they represent. Because now these people go out there and they wind up possibly injuring other people. They have to review the data, evidence-based and data-driven. It will show you that when they come back out there, you see the recidivism rate that is taking place, and you have innocent people, certain times babies, children, being harmed by these people that are right back out on the streets again.
And you know, so many of them are homeless, and you know, you have empathy for the homeless for a variety of reasons. But the way Giuliani dealt with it, he would send a cop out with a social service worker, and they would say, look, the social service worker would offer all sorts of ways to get off the street, but the cop would say the one alternative is not remaining on the sidewalk. You can't use the sidewalk as your bed and as your bathroom. You can go with a social worker, or you can go with me to jail, but there's no third option.
Oh, Most definitely. We have to have things, to put things in place to make sure that they are taken care of. And there's difficult choices at certain times, but we have to make sure in order that this way we're helping both. We're helping them, and we're also helping the city of New York by making things safer for people that are out there. And that's the key. You have to make tough decisions. In the military, we used to say, when in charge, take charge. And a decision is better than no decision at all.
Well, do you think that this mayor will eventually take charge? Because so far, New Yorkers haven't seen it.
Yes, I think he will. I think also he's facing a lot of backlash because of the fact, even the policies that he's given, and he's empowering police in certain things. You have to worry about these bail reform laws. You have to worry about these DAs that's letting them right back out again. So that's going counterintuitive to what he's trying to do. And he's fighting the fight. However, you have a whole criminal justice system. You have to worry about these laws. The cops are going to make the arrest. So they need to put stuff in place. Like they say, Beretta used to say, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. And have different policies and procedures in place to help those who need help. If there's mental health issues, help them. But those who don't, let's make sure that we put it in place.
Right. And one of the options is not to remain on the street, where you can do yourself and other people harm. And that's a big problem, not just in New York, but all over the country, particularly in Democrat-run cities. Oscar Odom, good to see you, my friend. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.